Hello everybody, Clive at 5 here bringing you another StarCraft 2 commentary. This time a matchup between EGDeMusliM, you know him, you love him, Purple Terran up here in the 2 o'clock location, versus NITRIXdSuki, the blue Zerg here in the 8 o'clock location. The map is Antiga Shipyard. Obviously I picked this replay because of DeMusliM. And he's a very well-known British, well, UK. I guess I don't know. Let me look up his Wikipedia here. He's from Nottingham, United Kingdom. I don't know where Nottingham is. I'm going to assume England because it sounds very English. So yeah, DeMusliM, he's well, according to the ladder, and this of course comes from the European server, he is like 44th in Masters, and he's going up against Suki, who is 38th in Grandmasters. Now, a lot of people don't give a whole lot of credit to the ladder rankings just because the real top-end players do a lot of custom games, which I think this might be, because he's purple. Maybe you can be purple. I think it defaults to red and blue, but I don't know. Anyway, we're seeing Suki go for a fast expand. Very common on Antiga Shipyard, very economically friendly. However, DeMuslim's going for racks first. I'm not sure if he'll actually go 1 racks into expand. The fact that there's no gas kind of leans in that direction, but we'll see, of course, what he decides to do just following this. So, how are you guys doing? It's been a week, but it feels like longer. I don't know. I don't know what to say about that, really. Yeah, I've been doing some Portal PTI, Perpetual Testing Initiative. That's been appearing on my YouTube, so definitely check that out. Oh, we're seeing the command center going directly down into the natural expansion while these Marines are starting to be produced, and I'm assuming we'll see something like a bunker go down up here as well. Drone sneakily slithering past that Marine, but the Marine is determined, bound and determined to hunt down that drone, which is going to sneak out as well. So, all Suki knows right now is that there's a 1 racks into expand, 2 gas to follow up. So, DeMusliM might be switching over into, well, definitely something a bit more tech heavy, perhaps a 1-1-1. So we might be seeing Mech versus Zerg. In the meantime, we see that spawning pool is complete as well, and finally the first gas going down for Suki. So, I am kind of relieved to see that Suki's not going for a fast 3. That is just, I'm getting so tired of fast 3, and I think it's almost too risky against Terran. You can get away with it versus Protoss, is kind of like I talked about last time. Protoss's early defense not very robust, whereas Terran can get very aggressive very quickly. Factory going down now, and we'll see if the starport does follow that up, or if he's, you know, determined to just go mech, he might wait a little bit on the factory. Other possibility is maybe he just wants to get a really early jump on getting some, what are those things called that heal the infantry? Yeah. The medevacs. So reactor switcheroo here, and there goes the starport. So we are actually seeing a 1-1-1 and a couple Hellions as well. Zerglings around the map. Just gonna check things out, and there goes that bunker at last. Tech path. What are we seeing here? Layer coming down for Suki. Yeah, other than Portal PTI, I haven't really been up to a whole lot gaming-wise. Honestly, I have not had very much time to game recently, just on account of the fact that, well, each summer I do a little community theater type of... I don't act, no way. But I do play trumpet, and basically every 11 months or so of not playing trumpet, I kind of get to the point where I'm like, I want to do something creative and artistic. And about that time, I'll also get an email from the guy who's directing this summer theater, and he'll be like, "Hey, Paul, well, Clive, I guess, whatever. You probably know my actual name, but Clive is more fun." So anyway, Clive, hey, come play. Is he doing facepalm? This Hellion avatar? I have never noticed that. That's fun. He'll say, "Hey, come play for the summer theater again." I'm like, alright, sounds good. And like a week into it, nice scout here from the Overseer. About a week into it, I'm so annoyed by it all that I want to quit. But I'm not that kind of guy, so just pretty basic stuff, Hellion harass, and check it out, a Banshee, which isn't really typical stuff, but hey, those Hellions are actually doing a surprisingly good job on the Queen. Transfuse to keep the other Queen alive, which is, well, kind of a waste of Queen energy, but you gotta do what you gotta do. You definitely don't want to lose a Queen that early on, and getting a nice surround on the Queen, and the Queen goes down. One Queen down, and that Spine Crawler just doesn't have enough to do anything about it. One Hellion down, and wow, all the Hellions very, very weak, and they're actually going to get taken down by weak Zerglings. That's fun stuff right there. So what are these guys doing in terms of tech? This factory is just floating around. Lots of... so it looks like we're going to be seeing a switch into infantry because this starport is planting down a reactor. 4 barracks in full production, and of course the Terran upgrades are well, actually they're a little bit late. Because usually it's the Terran 10-minute terror, or however you want to phrase that. But about the 10-minute point is where most Terrans finish their infantry upgrades. But this was a little bit different. There was a more focus on a Hellion harass early on, maybe to help try to fake out Suki into thinking that DeMusliM's going mech. I'm not sure how long that Overseer actually stuck around. Bold, very bold to plant down a whatever there, hatchery. That's what those things are called. So yeah, Suki has full vision of what's going on here. Dual starports, it looks like, but no, it was just that one of those was lifted off and then landed. So very interesting. I'm wondering if Suki's actually almost too bold in order to try to take that. Very difficult to defend. He has the infestors out, which is definitely what he needs to help against that infantry push. Tanks, interesting. The siege tech being researched, but I don't see any tanks in production. In fact, I don't even know. Oh, there it is. Where his factory is. He has a second factory as well, but certainly not the economy to support that. He's still only running off of 2 base. Needs to get this 3rd base moved over, but Suki being annoying and planting a whole bunch of creep there. Just to delay. Good tactic. Just a little simple annoyance that all you Zerg players should definitely do. If you're going to have a unit here anyway, probably an Overlord, just go ahead, spread the creep. It'll delay. Wow. Hive. That's, wow, okay. And Baneling, the centrifugal hooks as well. Definitely need that in combination with some really clutch fungals to totally dismantle Terran infantry. The one thing I do have to say is that I really like how diversified DeMusliM is. Well, I guess it's not that diversified. I was hoping it would kind of continue with the Banshee harass a little here and there. But whenever you mix tanks in with the infantry, it sort of disarms the Zerg a little bit more. Because you certainly need the tanks there to fend off these infestors, and if infestors can't get close enough to fungal the infantry, then it's all over. Wow, this could be a miracle Zergling scout right there. We'll see if Suki actually caught a glimpse of that and is able to respond in time. He actually does have a crowd of banelings in the back here, and the drop ship is gonna get Nope, I thought it might have gotten scouted again by that Zergling, but it looks like... no! Suki actually having moved out in just the wrong time, and it looks like DeMusliM is going to be able to get a nice little attack here. Won't be super effective, and the Banelings! Oh, the Banelings moving in. Oh boy, or maybe he just moved it just enough out of sight to lure DeMusliM into landing. I don't know what the psychology there could be, but now planting down a spine crawler as well. Oh, dropship over here. Oh, that was actually rather effective, it looks like. Lots of workers killed. 19, in fact, total. So, yeah, that's cool. Ultras. And not a super good response to Ultras out for DeMusliM, I have to say. Really, the most effective counter to Ultras, personally, I feel, is the Marauder. Not too many Marauders out there. The tank, I don't know. Especially when you have Ultra Ling like this. Oh, and late to siege, but Suki pulls back for some reason. That was a very miracle. Oh, engagement right there, and coming in from all sides. Great fungals, and DeMusliM totally dismantled right there with a combination of, just really great fungals and those Baneling busts as well. Wow, those were some really good hits there. And, you know, Suki's actually backing up here. He doesn't need to be, but he does want to preserve those forces until he can really solidly destroy the rest of DeMusliM stuff. And keep in mind that DeMusliM does still have these dropships moving around back here, and continue kind of trying to pull Suki in the back into his base during all this as well. So Suki doesn't want to get himself stretched too thin or commit too much, of course, because then he won't be prepared for those drops that could be coming in at any time, like right here at the 3rd, which of course he sees and is perhaps going to counter, and DeMusliM gets cleaned up. Okay. Well, army size-wise, actually things are in the favor of DeMusliM, which is interesting because I would say that he got completely demolished in that last attack. Even though both sides had, you know, a lot of troops out. And now DeMusliM, I gotta say, he has a frightful number of Marauders now. You know what I think would be cool for Heart of the Swarm? Is if Ultralisks could morph into like a giant effin' Baneling that could destroy like a command center. That'd be awesome. That's my idea. So now we're seeing some Corruptors which are morphing into Broodlords as well. I do really notoriously bad at keeping that production tab open, and yikes! Suki needs to be really careful about letting those Broodlords get picked off. So now, with the Broodlords, that's just going to make things really difficult for the tanks, and if he didn't get utterly slaughtered before, DeMusliM is very much on the run right now. There are a couple of Vikings here to deal with this, and again, Suki needs to be really careful about those Broodlords carelessly losing them to these Vikings. Careless. Wow. I don't know where DeMusliM keeps coming up with these troops, because every time it looks like he's getting absolutely flattened with really spot-on fungals. I have to say, Suki's fungals have been really ridiculous. And when you fungal and have all those Broodlords in there and the frickin' Ultralisks, nice troop positioning from DeMusliM, pulling back into those minerals just to help reduce the surface area. And while those troops are in motion, you know, Zerglings chasing. Others standing on the top of the ramp, continuing to fire. So now, boy, I don't know what to say here, because DeMusliM clearly has an army size advantage to a huge extent, despite the fact that Suki has, you know, has had like 1 to 2 bases up on DeMusliM the entire game. And now we have developing sort of a war of attrition, almost a classic Terran slow push, you might say. Why did Suki stop with the Broodlords? That's what I want to know. One good fungal there, but yeah, Suki doesn't really have this, and GG's. So, DeMusliM taking game 1 in our fake best of 3. Did I mention this was a fake best of 3? Because it is! Stay tuned for more Suki versus DeMusliM coming up next.